Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and the man who steals all the material from me is Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
I am indeed a small, semi-Asian girl.
Yes.
With
I've always said this.
Attracted to pointy-haired blonde men.
Was she ever attracted to Cloud?
She had the date. It's kind of like a teenage crush thing because she had the date. I somehow during one of the 400 playthroughs of the original game, I got a date with Yuffie, and I have no idea how I did it.
This is the original, by the way. This is not the remake.
No, I got a gold saucer date, and she ended up by giving him this really awkward kiss and running away.
On
the cheek.
I think I
15,
remember this.
And he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
But, and she... But then again, you could also date Barrett in that. So.
Yeah.
But then again, man dates are fine.
It is, yeah.
Everyone needs a good... And I'd go on a date with Barrett.
I'm not sure the Gold Source is a place where Barrett would really want to hang.
You could... Oh, no, that's very mean.
What?
I was going to say, we could visit your hometown.
Oh, no. I mean, it's right by. You could probably see it from the Gold Saucer.
Yay, see, it's that little shamble over there.
It's still steaming.
I can see your hopes and dreams shattered.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Barrett's hometown. That's going to be a fun thing to replay in the next few games.
Ironically
whenever it
named
comes
Coral.
Yes.
Considering they sell coal. And
yes,
what that's doing to real world Coral.
But they don't sell corals.
No.
People named Carl, which would be a very, very different town.
Carl. The main monetary system we have here is trading in Carls.
We have an ample supply of Carls. Carls from the east, Carls from the north and the south. These all gather here.
These are the free-range Carls. They breed naturally, and we collect the young for market.
As it pans over a field full of people just like playing checkers and stuff, and one looks over. Hi, I'm Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl.
Someone throws the rock at him. Get back to work, Carl!
We don't want to get too humanized. They must remain wild.
Free-range Carls. Come all to see them. Raised by Chocobo Sam.
No, Chocobo Sam contributes to bad things.
Technically.
Seriously, when he showed up, I was like, what a fucking scumbag.
I was like, that's a random reference. That's nice, though. Character expansion, I guess. He's just a farmer before.
Yeah, he was a happy farmer before.
He was.
Harmless.
Yep.
Not so now. Harmless now.
No.
Bad deal in women's.
He's grown up now.
Yeah, he's grown up and gotten very bitter.
That's right.
And got like, well, now I'm going to gather women to be assaulted by that there boy and fed to his giant monster.
Woo!
But I got chocobos.
Hell, those fluffy chicken boys. Those fluffy chicken boys. We're here, though, Mr. Mikey, to talk about Transformers this week. We actually have some Transformers news. It's surprising. It's nice, though. So let's dig deep and begin with Transform and roll out the TR-02 Commander of Stars. Not the Stars, just Stars. Like the Resident Evil group. It is we've got a great prototype image of the Cybertron Optimus Prime. We see him in his weird space truck trailer Japanese mode is the best way to describe it. We see him in his non-powered up form. I don't know what kind of form you'd say, but it's without the armor, and then you see the shots of him with his armor back on.
I think it's just like Optimus and then Optimus Super mode.
Did it not have like a special name?
Don't think
it might
so.
have done. Yeah, you're probably right.
Because it had special names when it was Leo Breaker and the plane.
Sonic Bomber.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, something like that. If you're interested in this, this figure will be 24 centimeters tall in his robot mode, 28 centimeters when he's combined in super mode. Fire truck alt mode will be 36 centimeters long, 10 centimeters wide, 7 centimeters tall. So it gives you an idea of how big this boy will be. Mikey, I know that you love the Unicron trilogy as much as anyone.
Yes. I do constantly have the second opening for Galaxy Force stuck in my head.
Not the Cybertron version. Our world's in danger.
Yeah, because of shitty writing and bad rap. But Ignition, occasionally I'll just like be wandering around and I'm like, ah shit, Toranthofoma.
Toranthofoma.
Like, by the way, Galaxy Force much better than Cybertron.
Yes,
not
but
brilliant,
again,
but
bar not
better.
high. But it's the point. It always falls fucking short when they get to the Speed Planet and you have 5 or 6 episodes of them racing.
5.
Is
I
it
wish
5?
was
Is
5.
it actually?
It was more because like you've got the Jungle Planet in the same section. I think it's like the first 12 episodes.
Oh my god.
Hang on. Let's see.
I definitely know, as I was watching it, as it was coming out week by week or something like that, I was like, wow, they're spending a long time on this planet.
Yeah.
Long time. And there were at least 4 races. At least.
Oh my god, there were so many.
Do you remember how good Inchip was as a character? The purple monster truck dude?
Oh yeah.
Remember his vital role in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one's got a list. I just searched Speed Planet arc, and no one's just got anything that's, simple.
Mm-hmm. No, of course not.
Episode 1 to 14 is the first arc, which includes the Speed Planet. Okay.
Okay, so that's the beginning of it, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some good stuff in Galaxy Force, like the Noise Maze stuff. Noise Maze looked great. He was a great looking toy. He was a decent toy as well.
Yeah.
But back on topic, Mikey, this guy, Optimus Prime from Galaxy Force, or Cybertron, what do you think? How do you think he's turned out?
I think he's solid. He looks very posable. No, hang on. No, it was still going on. Episode 15. Episode 16. Okay, by 17 they'd moved over onto Jungle Planet proper. Episode 19!
Oh no. Doesn't mean they were solidly there, but they kept going back. Revisiting it.
Episode 19 is when they got the Speed Planet key.
Oh dear.
Holy shit.
I thought it felt a while. Oh.
But no, I think this guy looks fairly solid. He's got ankle articulation, which is, oh my god. But he's got better proportions than the original figure by a considerable margin.
Yeah.
I have a real soft spot for that toy.
Yeah, it's a really good solid. It's big and chunky, but it's good big and chunky.
It was also the first thing I actually actively bought as a collector.
Oh wow, okay. Did you get the Galaxy Force version and the Cybertron version?
Cybertron. I was going into Smith's every day for like a month trying to convince myself, just buy the fucking toy. Like, it was him or Metroplex, and I was like, but it's a toy, and I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a toy. Eventually, horror and shock for anyone who knows me, I cracked.
Yes.
But so I've got a real soft spot, so it's really nice to see a new version of him. Like, I have a soft spot for the Siege version, and I think it's flawed.
Oh my, yes.
I think that it was a good idea that they didn't quite get right. Kind of like their Hotshot. But I like, so I'm biased, but I think it turned out well. I like the new proportions. It looks very articulated. I am curious to see where this is going. One thing I really hope they manage to do is make the super mode and the truck, the armored truck mode, as sturdy as possible, because one of the big flaws of the original toy was those clips were I was never comfortable with them.
I can't speak for the American version, but I felt that the Japanese one that I had never felt anything but tight. They felt solid on that, so I can't say how. You say it was a bit ropey on your American release, did you?
Yeah, it was. I think it was just like the size of the plastic of those straps.
Okay.
Like, and maybe it was just a different quality plastic used.
Maybe. Here's a question then, because this does, well, at least this design does hold some kind of interest to you, a personal interest. Would it be something that you might consider? Or are you just like, nah, I'm all right? I
would consider it if it was for a decent price. Now, at the moment, I am looking at other things for my spending.
Yes, we will talk about that because you have a problem.
I still want to pick up Minaisi. Minaisi, she's been delayed, and I'm still trying to find someone who I can pre-order for not a crazy price. But yes, I have other
Hollow said Firebird.
Yeah. I have other pre-orders in
Yes.
at the moment.
No, you don't have pre-orders. You have back orders in.
And pre-orders.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And
Talk about that.
I may have spent the last few days desperately hunting for someone with something in stock, but
Anyway,
anyway,
it's not happening at the moment, is it?
No. I actually was talking to people who ran the shop and they're just like, oh man, if you could see what we've been dealing with, just getting like the occasional fresh stock of random assortments. It's like, I'd love to visit one day and just raid your warehouses. But no, I think this is really good looking and I really want to see where it goes. And, you know, it's nice to see a third-party figure that's not another G1 Optimus Prime.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, this isn't the most innovative kind of thing. It is just the Galaxy Force Commander, so it's not like a unique design or any new take on it. But it seems like it's one of a very few amount of Galaxy Force figures that get done. Excuse me. I'm not suggesting that we'll see more of these in the future unless this does supremely well. But I wouldn't be adverse to seeing. I wouldn't go Megatron. I'd say Galvatron because I think Galvatron had the better looking color scheme out of the two of them. But it'd be nice to have that Megatron and Prime to go at least next to each other at the very least. Flame Convoy, that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Like
with,
one of those with
new
proper
updated
elbows.
tech. Yeah, exactly. Because although I like the Flame Convoy to a point,
Great silhouette.
that's his. He looks good. Everything else is just kind of.
Oh, he had some real problems with solidity.
Yeah,
those bits on his forearms are always popping off.
His legs never felt super nice as well. Lots of ratchet joints, but not like hard clicks to them. Yeah, what a shame. Maybe in the future we'll get something a bit more saucy, a bit more spicy. But who knows? Mikey, do you want to take us over to the next bit of news? Actually, you can do the next two because this next one's a quickie, really.
Yeah. So Shockwave Lab have revealed SL73 LED Matrix and SL74 exhaust pipes. These are upgrade kits for the Siege Nemesis Prime, who I don't remember them making. So basically, the Matrix goes into the space in between his gigantic robot boobs. So you can stick it in there, and this is a light-up Matrix. Presumably, there's a version of this for Siege Optimus as well. And they're not just going straight into Nemesis. Very odd if they were. And the other thing is the exhaust pipes, which are, you know, as you would say, they are exhaust pipes that are meant to improve the overall look of your Nemesis Prime by giving him pointier shoulders. So, many people find the pointy shoulder things and the pointy smokestack thing kind of a bugbear when it comes to Transformers. What's your take on the wonders of Shockwave Labs' glowing monoboob and shoulder?
I think the pipes do add a bit more to the silhouette. I get why they're not on the original toy for safety and whatnot. Kids are dumb. A glowing boob matrix thingy is not a thing that I really need. And the Matrix of Chaos, which is a weird name for it, I don't think has a great design to it. I get that they're trying to go with an opposite kind of look to the Matrix, but I don't know. I don't like that it's a big star. Seems like something from Sailor Moon more than anything else. You know, especially with the glowing purple, I'm like,
What's the name of the bad sailors in that? I know there was a few.
I've no idea.
See, I know they were called Sailor Scouts here, but I guarantee you they were not called that in Japan.
They were the Sailor Senshin, I think. Senshi.
That would be Sailor Warriors.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that.
Oh man, I wish it was like Sailor Sailors. It was like the Japanese for sailor.
They're the Sailor Sailors. What?
Arr! And they, oh my god. When they transform, they turn into very burly men with very hairy forearms.
Losing limbs and getting like hooks and peg legs for no reason.
Oh, come on. That would be amazing.
Yeah. The little child girl from the future could turn into like a parrot or a monkey.
Oh god. I never finished that show.
Neither did I. It wasn't for me. I thought it was I remember when it was on. I think it was Fox Kids back in the day.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting, but it's like, when's Dragon Ball Z on?
I was kind of like, I'm sure the ending aired, but because I was never in love with it, I never made the effort to
Same.
sit down and find it. Like, and I did like it for what it was. But
yeah.
Like, I was always like, how does no one know that's him in a tuxedo?
No, yeah. I don't know what's
how does no one realize it's her?
What's more insulting? Is Superman Clark Kent more insulting, or is Tuxedo Mask whatever is not the Tuxedo Mask name was? Because they're similar.
I'll say Superman because Tuxedo Mask is wearing a mask.
And he does have a hat, so that is covering up slightly more. No, that's fair.
Whereas Superman takes off his glasses and puts a curl in his hair.
He swishes his hair back. Yeah, that's fair, yeah. It's similar, though. I'd put them in the same apple bowl, you know. So. He's a Granny Smith. That's a Golden Delicious. They're in the same fruit bowl together. But yeah, Monoboom. Can't really say I'm enamored by it. But what's the next thing?
That was the pipe. The pipes? You love the pipes?
Like I say, the silhouette is nice, but apart from that, it doesn't do a huge amount.
The next one is New Age Toys. They revealed the final prototypes images of XM1 Mista, masterpiece scaled Dark of the Moon Soundwave, named Mista. So,
no, Meister.
No. So this is a very movie accurate version of Soundwave, to its detriment. One of the best things the official line ever did was streamline that toy for the deluxe.
Oh,
but just to spoil a few opinions. So this comes with both a Dark of the Moon Laserbeak and a Ravage, both of which look fairly highly detailed for the scale of them. It'll have a Mercedes-Benz alt mode, presumably lacking a big badge saying... It doesn't have the Mercedes badge on it, does it?
That's a good question.
I think it might, you know that.
Oh, no, yeah, it does. It does, yeah.
Oh, tempting fate.
Yeah.
Oh, fate be tempted, boy. So this may not come out. So yeah, this is the only other option at the moment for this kind of Soundwave is a Tung Mung figure, which we saw a prototype of that we have never seen anything else about it.
How long ago was that, you remember?
Probably a year ago now.
Ooh.
Like, I know the name Tung Mung because they're doing a line of Digimon third-party figures.
Oh, okay.
So
what, transforming ones? Model kits?
No, action figures.
Oh,
like,
okay.
High-end, like, look at our die-cast, man.
Oh, they're doing Angemon.
Angewoman,
no, sorry.
They have we get Big Firebird to do her.
Yeah.
Who have they done? They've done a Megamon, Gallantmon, Alphamon, and the Wargreymon X, and they've done a bunch of chibi figures as well. Or SD, I should say. Now I'm in a world where SD is a term. But no, I mean, what do you think? I'm not a fan, but I'm not a fan because I don't think it looks good. I think it looks very solid for what it is. I just don't like what it is.
Yeah, again, that it kind of drops into our general feeling on the movie designs, I would say. It looks like a really good representation of that Soundwave, though, and if it comes out as nice in terms of paint job and everything, it'll be a really solid-looking figure. One of the best things is I like that Laserbeak looks like a confused turkey.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't look nearly as threatening as he did in the film. He does have that quizzical look that a turkey gives when it doesn't quite know what's happening. And I just want to hear him gobble. The Ravage isn't too bad, but I wonder why it's got this kind of speckly metallic like flake paint over it. Is that a mistake or what? It's odd though, right?
It is a bit strange.
Yeah. These I would be surprised if they transform. But yeah,
yes.
I think we're gonna avoid the whole Ravage is a transformer thing that you remember we had that in Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh yeah, he turned into Ravage lying down.
Yeah, that was his re-entry mode. What did Laserbeak turn into?
A very crappy VTOL.
Oh, that's right. Oh dear.
He basically turned into a chocobo.
That's. Oh, it was weird. Oh dear. Yeah, nice for what it is, but not. Wow, have you seen the image that has the Megatron, Starscream, and Barricade, and him all in.
Yeah.
That's a very grey picture.
Yep.
That's a very grey picture.
Yep.
Well, I wonder what the problem with the movie designs were for the Decepticons. Who knows? Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Please do.
Right, Transformers Element, Legend Scale, Beast Wars Scorponok. I don't think it has a fancy name. At least it's not
yet.
listed. Yeah. We saw the prototype images of this like a few weeks or months ago or something like that, and we were like, yeah, okay, who thought they'd do Scorponok? No one gives a shit about Scorponok from Beast Wars. Now he's out, we see him colored, and he looks pretty fucking good. I think, anyway. I think for a Legend Scale thing, he seems to transform from both modes, looking fairly accurate, and it doesn't look like there's any real like crapness to him for the most part, I would say. Do you have positive feelings on this guy, Mike, or is it just me?
I think he looks really good. Also, I think Legend Scale may be pushing it, considering he's at least as tall as Deluxe Rat Trap.
No, that's not Deluxe Rat Trap that they're pictured with. That's the Transformers Element one.
Oh, right.
Which, granted, I don't know how big that is versus the Deluxe one, but it is kept in whatever scale that they're going with.
Yeah, but no, I think this guy looks really good. The transformation looks simple but not unenjoyable. He looks very articulated. Looks like they've managed to work in some kind of double jointed elbow. No Cyber Bee, but I'm hoping he comes with one.
Won't be the biggest thing if he doesn't, but it definitely would be nice if it's there. I reckon that you might be able to pull off the missiles and maybe put the bee on like a peg system. Maybe they'll have it like that. Yeah.
Here's a question: what's up with those black arachnias?
Yeah, one of them is clearly a prototype, I think, and the other one is from that two-parter episode.
Yeah, where
the island
over an island.
Is that what it was called?
So is this a sneak reveal of a black arachnia?
Yeah, a sneak repaint. I don't know why you crave that repaint though, but it's there. I guess
it's not like you can really do many like you can do that, but you can do it into animated colors or arachnid colors.
That's the problem with a lot of these
arachnid colors is basically the animated colors.
Yeah. Did Beast Wars, at least First Line, get much repaint? I don't think it did.
Well, she was.
No, she would. No. Oh well, yeah. There's Tarantulas. Yes.
Tarantulas.
Polar Claw got done into the just normal grizzly bear.
Yeah. There was a lot of repaints when they got swapped. Sticking to the West, because when they got taken to Japan, obviously a lot of them got repainted.
Sure.
Do you know what? No, I don't think the original line got a lot of repaints.
No, Shido obviously did as well.
Like, Wolfang got redone into K9.
Yes.
I think there's at least two Wolfang variants. Let's see. There was the problem. I'm thinking about it. A lot of the repaints you would think of, those are from Beast Machines and Universe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or from the Collectors Club. No, do you know what? I don't think there were many repaints.
Not many. Don't get us wrong, people who might be typing on the keyboard. We know that there are some.
Yes.
Because Dinobot got done into Grimlock.
Yeah.
In quotations.
There was like the Fox Kids colors.
That's right. No, but
because they came out while Beast Wars was airing. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, because Waspinated got done into an actual wasp color, like yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were some, but I know Primal didn't at all, I don't think. Apart from obviously in Japan, which as we said doesn't count.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. Megatron did later on down the line with Machine Wars.
Yeah.
No, Dino Attack, because that was technically not Machine Wars.
That was Beast Machines.
Yeah, it was that weird, like, it's not Beast Machines, but it is Beast Machines.
And him and like Magmatron and the Beast Wars Neo molds all came out that way.
Yeah, exactly. It was weird. I remember seeing them in Disney World in the future zone of the Magical Kingdom and being like, what the hell is this? I actually thought they were knockoffs. But yeah. Different. Scorponok, I think maybe one issue with him is gonna maybe be in his Scorpion mode. Maybe the head for the Scorpion, apart from this angle, won't look great. Probably. But I think apart from that, this is good. Actually, seeing this week made me consider going to get the Rat Trap because I thought the Rat Trap actually looked really good as well.
Yeah.
So I went to Kapow because I was like, they'll have it. And I went, oh, they don't have it. Do they have the pre-order for Scorponok? Oh, no, they don't. Do they have the Black Arachnia even? No, they don't. Okay, well, looks like I'm not getting them then. Because the only other place, like, I guess I could go to really would be eBay or other foreign places. And at the moment, that's not how things work, unfortunately. So I was bummed out. Because I wouldn't, like, I said this on Twitter. I was like, Inferno. When Inferno?
No one else wants Inferno, Andy.
That's a fucking lie. That is a fucking lie. I wouldn't guess how many people would be like, yay, Inferno, but I'm sure there has to be a few, because he's like, I would say he's a fairly important character.
He's certainly very popular.
Yeah.
Yes, Inferno. He lasted way longer than anyone else ever thought he was.
Yeah. It almost feels like that's why he was never given a transmetal form, because people were like, maybe we'll just get rid of him at some point. The amount of times they killed him, but he came back. One of those things. Like, do you remember when he shot the energon crystal in the cave and he disintegrated?
Yeah, he died a lot.
And then he literally came back and it's just like, he just survived. It's like, okay. I think he was meant to die then. I think I heard somewhere he was meant to die there, but they just brought him back again. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, and like when you look at him and like the amount of, like, no one ever draws attention to it with him or like Quick Strike.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Waspinator, it's just like, everyone look at Waspinator, look at him suffer.
Yep.
But Waspinator set an unhelpful precedent for himself.
It's true. That was easily maybe a problem with Beast Wars writing, the amount, like, what does it take to kill them? And we're never quite sure. Quite sure. But Scorponok, Mikey, would this tempt you into jumping into the line like it's tempting me, even though currently not possible?
I find this fairly tempting.
And apart from, obviously, Inferno, is there another Season 1 character? Will even expand it outside of the TV people? I don't think it would expand outside of the TV people, but if you wanted to, and you could include any of the first, like, non-transmetal-y lads, is there any one or anything that you'd like to include or see? Ow. That's me cracking my toes.
I'd like Razor Beast.
Oh, okay. Is that just because of fond memories of the IDW comic?
I honestly just like the design.
Okay.
And I'd like to see it done with modern engineering.
I would be interested to see them do Dinobot, but also not, because we've had the Masterpiece Dinobot, so it feels like that's a recent release, and also doing it at Legend scale and just doing Dinobot in general, I imagine is a real ball ache. A Tarantulas. I think we said this when we saw Black Arachne as well, but a little Tarantulas would be nice as well, because he's amazing. So I don't need to see Primal, and I don't need to see Megatron, mainly because whenever anybody does like figures, it's always one of those two straight away. So it's kind of nice that these guys have kind of because who did the Transmetal 2 Megatron on roller skates? Was that Elements, or was that somebody else? Do you remember?
I remember the figure. I don't remember who did it.
No, I can't off the top of my head. Anyway, I think these are different, but yeah, there we go. Nice to see them. Hopefully, I'll be able to get my hands on them at some point in the future, but who knows, I suppose. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news?
I could be convinced. So DNA Design have revealed a new accessory kit for several of the Studio Series figures. So DK16 Gear Master. This is their accessory series, and will be SS61 for these are parts for SS61 Sentinel Prime. You're going to get a shield, swords, and a rust cannon. For SS49 Bumblebee, the 2007 Chimera, rocket launchers and extra parts for the inner legs, and SS08 Blackout, articulated hands, an extra pair of machine guns, chest blaster, and an extra rotor. So you get loads for Blackout. This is kind of highlighting how kind of excited I was for the first round of Studio Series before they started hitting everyone I don't care about.
Oh, you mean character-wise, not actual people?
Yeah, no. Yeah. But no, because that blackout still looks good. But
Yeah.
I think the overall look of these accessories is good. It looks pretty solid. I like the articulated hands on blackout. The Camaro is probably the least impressive in terms of the extras.
What's he come with? Is it just like missiles and shit?
Yeah, so like gap fillers for his legs and some shoulder missile pops.
Yeah. It's a bit messy for the back of his car mode. I guess that's just like where they're storing the extra crap, isn't it?
Yeah, whereas like Sentinel comes with like his sword, a shield, and
That's
it looks like parts to make his sword into a broadsword.
Okay. That's okay.
So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, I think this looks like a pretty good accessory kit.
It's weird though, in a way that it's a kit that has 3 separate figures in it. Because I'm actually surprised they didn't parse this into at least like 2 separate kits to try and get a bit more money out of people. Not that that's a bad thing, but yeah, I definitely would agree with you that the blackout stuff. Maybe it's because I'm a bit more biased and I like the design of blackout more than the rest. But the giving him articulated hands, that's really good. He doesn't. Okay, I wondered if the Scorponok was his or if he came with that already.
Yeah, no, I think that's
already with him.
Or,
yeah.
Oh, that's old. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the extra propeller things are neat as well, and Gatling guns are always fun. What's the weird boob thing he has that goes in the center of his cleavage?
There is a moment in the first movie where his left cheek, whose name escapes me, is looking at him through some kind of magic goggles.
Mm-hmm.
And is saying like, "Oh my god, I see a force field," and then he's like looks at them and he goes beep beep beep, beep and his boob thing comes out. It looks like it's going to be a big cannon that he's going to blow them up with.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Oh.
and then Scorponok jumps off his back and the scene ends.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah. Movies. It's weird. It's very, very weird. Yeah, okay, cool. Did you mention a price? Sorry, I think I may have misheard you if I didn't pick up on it.
No, I did not say a price.
Okay, well, yeah. Still a decent pack if you're already getting the movie, the Studio Series stuff, why not? If there's one figure in there that you like and want to make it a little bit better, then you just get the other 3 as well, or the other 2 to fancy up, so that's fine. Shall I take us on to more movie stuff, Mikey?
Please do.
Well, I lie. It's not just movie stuff, but we've got the Masterpiece movie MPM-10 Starscream, Earthrise Decepticon Clones 2-pack, and the MPM-2 DPCI. I don't know what that one is, what that last one is, off the top of my head.
That is the other one.
What's the other one?
Other one.
Oh, you don't know either. That's fine. Okay, so this is just kind of price listings for those who are interested. American MPM 10 Starscream is going to be, let's just round it up by a cent, is going to be $150. The Earthrise 2-pack of the clones, that's Pounce and Wingspan, the effectively re-release of the electronic boutique or game store, whatever that place was that they sold them at half price or whatever, or just a re-release of the Japanese versions. They're going to be $25, and the Masterpiece movie MPM2, which neither of us are quite sure on, that's going to be $120 basically. So this is following Target store information, so obviously it might vary from other place to other place, but there you go, information on stuff. Mikey, I think $25 for the 2-pack of the clones is a fine price. I think that's what they were selling for back during the not the Titans Return line, but
whichever one it was.
Yeah, I think maybe Power of the Prime. I don't know. It was whatever the line it came out in.
I've lost track.
Same. That's an okay price though, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's decent.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts there, or should I take us on since I was short?
Not really.
Right, then, Mikey, we know that Japan likes to repaint their things into things from the past, i.e. Diachron things, so I think this is a reference to that. It is. We have the MP39 Plus Spinout, which is basically Red Sunstreaker, making a homage to the very first Diaclone version of that toy, which of course was his car, but red. because that's what you do. And you can't really Sideswipe and Sunstreaker and they both be red. That'd just be a bad idea. So is there any other differences here? No, it's got the head from the previous release, which was MP42 Cordon, the white version. So it's got that more toy accurate head rather than cartoon accurate head. And then the rest is just red. So if you're interested in that, here you go. Way. Otherwise,
Yay.
Whatever. Do you have any thoughts on this, Mikey?
Sunstreaker.
Yes.
Very red Sunstreaker.
It is. There's an image of him standing next to Sideswipe, and he's much, much redder than Sideswipe. And Sideswipe's pretty red already. I don't think there's really anything else to say there. So, Mikey, take us on to, 2 bits of movie talk.
Yeah, so we have Transformers live-action movie talk. First of all, according to Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner, there are 21 movie projects for various properties coming from Allspark Pictures, and one of them, due out on June 24th, 2022, is the next live-action Transformers movie.
Woo!
We know absolutely nothing about this. We just have this date. It's booked. We'll see if they can stick to it at the moment. Now we do know from previous things that there are 2 scripts out there somewhere, at least in the concept stage. These are a Beast Wars script and a follow-up to Bumblebee, or a prequel to Bumblebee. We're not really sure. The Beast Wars one is being written by James Vanderbilt, who does murder mystery stuff, and the Bumblebee one is being written by Joby Harold, who did John Wick Chapter 3, which I haven't seen. I don't know if it's any good.
I was going to say, I know 2 was meant to be well received, right? I think 3 was still good, but not as good. But I'm not entirely sure.
So yeah, what the thing is, of course, there's 1 film confirmed. So could they not be doing this movie that you want them to do and doing the other movie that you don't want them to do? I don't know.
What do I want them to do? I don't know anymore.
I don't know. As my niece would say, I don't know.
Oh no, she can talk.
Oh, everything's very pretty at the moment.
Are you very pretty?
Yes. Also, she heard my voice over the phone while being on the other side of the yard, and all I could hear over the phone was, "It's Ma!" and it's just running over. And go, "Hi!" and then ran back to where she was. She's a very strange child. The other bit of movie news is that, according to Holiday Reporter and Deadline, a Transformers animated movie has been confirmed to be in the works, done by Josh Cooley, who was behind Toy Story 4, which I hear was good, but I haven't seen. He will work from a script by Ant-Man and the Wasp writer Andrew Barr and Gabriel Ferrari. Again, haven't seen that movie. I don't know if it's any good because it's MCU and I've given up.
Yes.
This is apparently an original story, which might be standalone, completely standalone. On Cybertron, focusing on Optimus and Megatron and their relationship. It will probably be 2D. So there's that. Josh Cooley on his Twitter account just tweeted the message "roll out." So, hey, Andy, are you more interested in this?
No, not until I see something of value from it. My maybe not concern, but something that I'm maybe worried about is they're going to make Optimus and Megatron brothers again, like they did for the movie backstory.
I don't even know if did they do that for the movie backstory, really, or did someone put in a line that no one's really been able to figure out?
I'm sure they were in the comics, at least in the prequel comics. But again, who fucking cares about the prequel?
There was
comics?
There was definitely a brother in arms thing, but who knows?
When I say who cares about the prequel comics, I meant the people in Hollywood when they were writing the movies, and they never cared. Which is why wasn't it that you who touted the Starscream comic?
Yeah, Reign of Starscream, excellent comic.
And still then how much of that was taken over to the next movie?
Oh,
absolutely nothing.
None of it. Absolutely none of it.
None of it. Exactly. This is why I don't like movie cross-in comics, because they never matter, unfortunately. Even if they fix things and make things better, the next movie that comes out pretends it didn't happen, because they can't happen, because it would force people to actually go and read comics, which
it would show effort.
You can't expect people to go and do that, which is I understand. It's a
I'm
pain,
always
though.
happy if you can at least say the movie hasn't outright contradicted Science media.
Yes, I would agree.
But yeah, so that's it for the movie news, really. Any other thoughts? Do you want to take us on to the last bit?
I'm interested to see what an animated movie would be. I'm not entirely sure we're gonna get a Beast Wars movie, mainly because we haven't had anything Beast Wars related really since maybe the references from animated.
Oh,
right.
There are references, like Injector shows up in Cyberverse Season 3.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Briefly.
But
Cheetor's in there as well.
We
so.
haven't even had a push from the toy line, really. We've had like little bits here and there, and then stuff from Japan, but nothing. Like, I think Beast Wars would be harder to push on people than saying animals, robots turn into animals.
I mean, I would laugh my ass off if they did it and did it like Lion King photorealistic, because I want to see the look on the child's face as like a gorilla, a realistic gorilla splits in half to become a robot with gorilla bits hanging off him and like leaning over and saying, "He's killed it," you know.
If it was done by Michael Bay as well, you know, as it was like transforming, juices would be exploding from its body.
Oh god, the whole spit and everything they used to do, that would add a whole new vibe to it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because it'd be constantly dripping as well. Like from the organic parts, it'd be dripping.
Oh, it'd be all glossy.
Yeah. Yeah. All the fur would be matted. Oh, it'd be gross. It'd be gross. But yes, let me take us on to the last bit of news, Mikey, as TFCon 2020 for Toronto has been rescheduled in hopes that it will be able to go off this time in September, the 4th to the 6th. So if you're interested, I assume if you've already bought your ticket for the previous one, there's probably been an email. All exhibitor bookings have been automatically transferred to the new date. No action is required. I don't know if this means you can't get tickets anymore, but you can probably go through and book if you want. But I would still be very much like, it's still too soon to know if this is actually going to happen. Because I don't know about your perspective on things at the moment, Mikey, but they still seem very up in the air, like, yes. we don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest, I would put money down on TF Nation not happening this year, which I hope it would be rescheduled, but it's just the fact, like, the year they get Peter Cullen is the year they don't get to do it would be horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, because partly, and I don't want to sound like that guy, because he's quite old.
It's fair.
And you may not get many more chances.
No.
So, also, I'm slightly concerned because some cons and stuff, either they've been doing the online portion, which is fine, but they've been doing it without any like refunds on ticket prices or anything.
Oh, really?
Or reduced ticket prices or anything. Like, okay, I'm not going to your convention. You're providing a service for me not going to your convention. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's cost me as much as if I was there.
Yeah, that doesn't seem great.
When you don't have to do anything with dealers, stock, anything like that. Now, it could just be like, hey, we paid the fees already. We need to cover the fees. But,
yeah.
So, I mean, I really hope TF Nation, if anything happens with it, it gets moved. But Dublin City Comic Con is coming up. And I would be fucking amazed if that airs at the right time.
When's it meant to happen?
July, I think.
July, okay.
Yeah, and I'm after finding out they have a Gundam wing thing. I'm now suddenly retroactively very mad about not going to TF Nation last year.
You can still buy the model kit. Well, I mean, you could have bought the model kits before this all happened.
I didn't know, did I?
Yeah.
I even had that year when I was at Auto Assembly where they just had that wall of Gundams and I ignored it.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me to buy any either.
I didn't think you'd want them.
Did I?
I'm sure I've told you to watch some Gundam stuff before.
You've told me to watch Gundam, but that's like, I'm not necessarily going to watch all the Gundam now. I'll watch a few, certainly, to try and see if there's any to pick me on, but I won't, it's not... there's a reason the Gundam show I will defend to my dying breath is G Gundam. I like my robots semi-sentient and my heroes screaming. oh, but where's the depth of magnitude of war versus good and evil and how they don't really exist, but they're in a shade of grey. Screaming! I want more screaming!
Yeah, you won't get much of that from Gundam. You'll get a bit, but not massive amounts.
Retroactively, the best moment in a weird ecchi anime that I ever saw was a one where a guy is working for a series of very rich young ladies, and one of the butlers is voiced by the guy who did Guy, and one of the butlers is voiced by the guy who did Domon Kashu, and they start yelling at each other and start screaming. And like one says, "My fist, I will learn your feelings through my fist," and the other starts screaming, "Turn into light." And then they get knocked out by a guy who was played by the guy who played Master Asia.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So that's the kind of stuff I want. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But rant. But TFCon, hopefully, I really hope it goes. I really hope it goes forward and it does go on. And I think pushing it back to September, very, very wise.
Mm-hmm.
Given what the current projections are for the path of the thing, which we will not speak of here because everyone won't shut the fuck up about it.
It's true.
So I think they made a good decision. I know some people are angry, but they've got to do their best by you.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do in times like this? You got to do what you can. But I would still go with don't get your hopes up too much in case they can't do it. Be happy at the news and the potential, but if it has to be cancelled again, just keep that in mind if you can. That'd be the best way forward.
Yep.
So Mikey, that's us done with the news. We actually had some, as I say, but Mikey, what have you done this week? What have you done fun and all that jazz?
What have I done? Haven't watched Rider this week. It has been subbed, just didn't get to it today.
Okay.
So I'll have 2 episodes next week. I watched a Netflix show completely at random called Kipo. It's got a long title like the Kipo in the Age of the Wonder Beasts or something like that.
Oh, you've been tweeting about that quite a bit this week.
Yeah. So I watched that and it was an interesting little show, in all honesty. It's getting as every single fucking show does, to the point of all ad nauseum at the moment, it's getting rave reviews. Completely destroying the rave review, in my opinion. The review has no more meaning. Like, if someone tells you a show is excellent now, I'm just like, so it's average to good?
Ooh.
Or actually shitty? Star Trek? But this one I saw before I saw the reviews and formed a biased opinion. But, so basic premise is at some point in the future, hundreds of years in the future, humans have largely gone underground, and the planet is largely populated by mutes, which are sort of sentient animal mutants. Your hero Kipo is a small pink girl, which no one really remarks on, despite the fact no one else is a different color, who gets washed to the surface. Her family have to migrate because of a mute incident above their home, and while on the surface she meets a lone wolf lady who is human, who is wearing a wolf skin, who she names Wolf. And her and a couple of others get together and they try to get Kipo home, basically. All the while, because she is an underground, she was a burrow dweller, as they call her, the burrow girl. The mutants on the surface want her for reasons. The general art style is kind of a combination of the Cal art and sort of what I'll call the Avatar-inspired art. I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but sort of less sharp lines, more slightly squashed proportions. So humans and humanoid things all look like they came out of a sort of anime. Or, like, you know what? She-Ra would be a very good comparison. Whereas the mutants themselves all kind of look Cal art style. Which I find somewhat disappointing because some of the designs they're not super inventive. They're often just, a cat in a lumberjack shirt. But they work for what they're doing, and I would have liked I would have liked it to be in the same style. Humor is fairly funny. Writing's fairly clever. I especially like how they handle their gay character. I've said this before about the Netflix show, but I kind of like how they're approaching it, which is basically to normalize it to the point of blandness. And here it's just like Kipo fancies someone, tries to hit them, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm gay." Oh right, moving on.
Yeah.
But having him go, "I'm gay," is kind of a a moment as well in a way. But it also leads to the fucking funniest part of the show, where he hits on some poor man, and it's fantastic. But I like the characters. It's short, so it's not, it doesn't drag or anything. No real patience. A little bit of like Kipo herself takes a while to grow on you. She works in the end, especially when they bring in a bit of a mystery about her. But I found her a bit overly naive at first, and I suppose part of that was like we're intending it to be that way. But
annoyingly so, would you say?
Unrealistic for her, like unrealistic for the world she's living in.
Right.
From even factoring in where she came from, she's just like, we're all friends. They're trying to kill you. We're all friends. Like, really? Because I think the idea is like, oh, look at her. She's going against the way of the surface, which is we're all kind of getting along. Like, she's bringing in a peaceful method of doing it, where everything else is trying to eat everything else up there.
Right.
Including Wolf trying to eat one of Kipo's early friends. But it didn't settle in. Once basically it becomes, in the last half of the show, about her relationship with Wolf. Which does work, and Wolf has a good backstory. Quite a dark backstory, actually, but a good one. Yeah, I think if the mutants looked a bit better, or at least to my eyes looked a bit better, I would have been a bit happier. And some of the writing is a little too wacky at times. Like, there's one set of mutants which are astronomers who are all kind of like cardigan-wearing uber nerds.
Okay.
But no, I honestly think it's probably worth at least a look. Although, be aware, it's not like there's some good fight scenes, but the fight scenes are very, very rare. It's not that kind of show.
Right.
It's a whimsical adventure show, which weirdly enough made me want to rewatch Over the Garden Wall.
Okay.
But then again, a lot of things do.
I thought you were gonna say Made in Abyss, which is an adventure show as well.
Yes, a whimsical adventure show.
Until when it's really not whimsical.
Don't go up the hole.
Season 2 is meant to be happening at some point, isn't it?
Season 2 is being done as a movie.
Ah.
But I don't know how big the story is for that, so it could fit perfectly well.
Okay. I thought it was a full season we were getting, not just a movie.
I think a season is in the works, but the next story arc is definitely in the movie.
Okay.
Look for Konosuba. That would be a crossover from hell.
It would be different. Yeah.
Made in Abyss versus Konosuba. They won't stop trying to go up.
Oh, poor Kazuma.
Kazuma's like picking up the girls and throwing them up.
Darkness would love it.
Yeah. I got my next model kit, which was the Genosaur, the HMM Genosaur from Zoids.
Oh.
So it got shipped like last week. I was expecting it to take about 3 weeks to get here.
Mm-hmm.
5 days.
Where was it coming from, did you say?
Japan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like the guy who sent it, like, I won't send it until I'm sure it will be with you quick. I was just like,
I'm guessing it came EMS then, right?
DHL.
Oh, DHL. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that stuff's usually quick.
And DHL, like, they didn't even bother to get anyone to sign for it or to look for customers, and they just dropped it off, said, fuck it, and left.
Did they not demand, like, you pay import price or something?
I didn't even know it was there. Until,
wow.
Like, I was going outside, and I like, whose box is that?
That's really good, then. Right.
Yeah. So first of all, the box is fucking huge. One of the things I've been trying to do since I got into this whole model kit thing is try and get a feel for different grades and different complexities.
Mm-hmm.
So this is apparently kind of master to perfect grade if you're looking at it in Gundam terms.
Mm-hmm.
But so it cost me about €100 all in, and I managed to get the white version from the Dinosaur Expo in Japan last year. So I was really happy about that. I've built the head, the neck, and the torso. So this kit was designed originally in 2007, but it's been re-released multiple times. It was actually one of the first kits to come out for the HMM line. You can really feel it because I put together the bits I've got. The neck articulation is very limited. Like some up and down, no side to side, no rotation. And the head, it can rotate fully, but there's no side to side motion. Although there is a slight joint in the actual torso to actually get a bit of a curl going. But it's an enjoyable build. I'm really enjoying it. It's taking plenty of time. I've been at it for a couple of days now. because of discoloration, you have a lot of panel lining to do.
Right.
Because there's a lot of white in the armor pieces. Overall, it's fairly stable. Now, one of the problems this, and apparently a lot of the first run Zoid kits have, is that the armor pieces want to come off because the pegs are relatively small. So what I might do is glue on a few bits and bobs, but at the moment it's okay. And I would say, so most of the Genosaurs out there are going to be either dark blue or black. You don't have to worry about panel lining most of them. This one's brown on white, and like you really need to panel line the white parts. Like I'm still very crappy at painting and panel lining, but even with my scuffy cleaning up and everything else, it looks a lot better with everything picked out.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I might try it, but the Liger Zero, which is basically all white, must be an interesting.
Oh god, that would take so long. I bet you'd need a few marker pens for that, right?
Oh yeah. Next time, I'm planning on buying a bunch of liner pens next time I order anything. So just to have them.
Make sure you get both grey and black
and brown.
Yeah, and brown for brown less so because you rarely use them. You seem to only use it on yellow, I think.
Yeah, but it's good to have them.
It is definitely.
So yeah, no, I think it's an enjoyable build. I'm having fun with it. I'm not expecting a superposable robotic T-Rex thing, but it's got lovely little elements like a little pilot and a cockpit that you can take out, and it's. I will say the pilot is grey and requires more skill than I'd ever have to paint.
Yes, yeah, that's very Master Grady.
Yeah, but I like it. I like its inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
So I will at some point try and pick up another one of these kits. I'll try a more recent one. So in fact, the newest kit there was like a 5-year gap between actual new kits last time. So there's a new kit this year, and the last one before that was like 2015, 2016.
Oh wow! Why do they take so long to bring them out? You know,
because what they do is just fill in the gap with repaints.
Oh no!
Like there are a ton of repaints. But I was thinking I might, just because I saw it got really good reviews, and also the Ligers are on the older side for kits. Right. So I'll probably hold off getting them until I'm further in. I might pick up the Berserk Führer, the other dino. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to buy another Zoid for a while. Yeah, I've been looking at Gundam kits online a lot, and trying I want to track down a real grade and a master grade, and trying to find a master grade at the moment trying to find someone who'll ship to Ireland without costing you phenomenal amounts of money. HLJ, do not ship from HLJ right now unless you have a deal or something going on. Because they have the best prices for the base figures, but they ain't got the best price for shipping.
Yeah.
It's like I did a basket full of stuff just to see what it would cost, and it was like €60 to ship. No, it's not justifiable. But it also means like a lot of places just don't have the stock outside Japan because they can't restock. The real victims of quarantine, me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've been looking for I want to get the Denial Gundam.
From Try.
That thing looked nuts.
Yeah, the only issue with it, which you'll find is its feet are quite small, so it has a little bit of a hard time balancing because it's got obviously it does how it has the purple energy hair. That's one big plastic piece, so it can kind of pull it backwards a little bit.
There's a bunch of other ones like Master Grade. I've got a pre-order in for one, so that'll come out in a while. But I've been trying to find the real grade Mark II Titan. Which is the blue Mark II.
No, don't get it.
I've been looking at reviews. It's got good reviews.
Nope. Do you know why? Because it has an inner frame. It has those parts, and that will not survive long.
I did not know that.
Yeah. The Mecha Gaitsuo says that basically you buy from the unicorn one onwards. Everything before that gets real ropey after time. Gets real ropey real quick.
Okay. What I might do then, because there's a Master Grade... I like the blue Gundams. I don't know why, but I do. There's a Master Grade blue Gundam on a web store. I might get that. It's not a white Gundam, and I want to try different ones. I also found somewhere said that they can back order me the high grade Psycho Gundam from 2004.
Oh, the Psycho Gundam's great.
For €50 shipped. Like, I've seen how big that thing is.
Yeah.
I want that.
I've got it. It's real fun and it's massive.
I also, like, again, it's like, kind of want, okay, so that's an older kit. What did they do? What did they not do? I want to really get a feel for these things.
When you're buying the Psycho Gundam, you're buying it for its size, but it still can do a fair amount of posing.
Yeah, and it
can transform.
Well, it sits down.
Yeah, the transformed mobile armor mode is kind of iffy.
For a Gundam transformation, it's not bad.
It's fine.
Right, so but yeah, so I might do you know when the Zeta real grade was made?
No, you don't want to. You don't want to do Zeta.
Oh,
I know. I really wanted the Zeta as well.
Yeah, because I like the Zeta design a lot, and I like the Mark II design a lot, which is annoying me now.
I can tell you the high. I know it's not exactly what you want, but the high grade Mark II is really good. And the Zeta, the 90% of the times, the problem with the Zeta is they try and make it transform, and because that's I know. And unfortunately, that really hinders it because, of course, it would. But again, the high grade revival is meant to be good. I just haven't got it. But again, I know the Mark II high grade is good because I have that, and that is good.
I might try it. I might, because it'll be the same
scale. Get the Tallgeese for real grade.
Yes, the Tallgeese is there.
Tallgeese is good.
And I can get him for fairly reasonable prices.
Yeah,
but I might get the high grade for the Mark II then, because I can get that fairly cheap. And it'll be the same scale, so that'll be fine.
Yeah, real grade and high grade.
I am also desperately trying to find the Dark Hound, the high grade Dark Hound.
Which one's the Dark Hound?
The Dark Hound is the Age 2 redone into a big black bear.
Oh, of course.
Because I was reading up on Age, and apart from the fact it seems to be a very controversial series in terms of quality, I love the concept. From what I heard, the show, it didn't execute it well, but
yeah. No, the idea behind Age, going through 100 years following one character, kind of, is great. They just don't do it very well.
Yeah, but the Dark Hound is the main Gundam from the second arc.
Yes.
Redone into a pirate.
Yes. It's a pretty decent design.
Yeah, but again, it's those moments where people tell me Gundam is a very serious experience, and I'm just like, it's a pirate.
Well, it is. It just depends on the show you go with.
But it's a pirate.
That one's not. Age is not a super good. Well, it's because Age just isn't super good from my perspective. But... Yeah,
but I want to get it because it'll be a bit taller, but I've got a high grade Crossbone who I am kind of in love with. And now I want a high grade Darkhound so it can be like Pirate Bros. Yeah. And I want a high grade. I don't want to get a master grade because it's a different scale. And I want Pirate Bros.
Well, what you could do is you could get the real grade version of the Crossbones, the blue version. Yeah,
I have seen that, but God, trying to find out just when I started looking into this, there were loads of them around. And now it's like, okay, oh God, they're all gone.
Was the blue one a premium?
The blue one was premium.
I thought so. I know the normal one's not, but
no. And I think did the real grade do the black one?
No.
No. That's the high grade.
Yeah.
But then all the high grade Crossbones are premium. Yeah. So I'm still hunting for Gundams. I'll probably have I sold something during the week, so I'm basically up, and I canceled a pre-order for something, so I'm up on that as well because I had paid for it and I just got the money back, and I said I can get that at any point. If I'm trying to get the experience now. But this whole Gundam thing did lead me to watch a bunch of Gundam TV, and I wanted to get these out of the way, so I did. So I'm now up to date in Re-Rise, which I've spoken about before, Bill Diver's Re-Rise, which episode 17, which was mostly a history episode, but
it was a lot of just talking.
Yeah, and firmly establishing space dragons and what I would call techno magic.
Yeah. I don't like how they're trying to establish how the world works, because it's very loose, shall we say.
Well, I'm approaching this as not a Gundam guy.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, this feels a bit Digimon-y, but
yeah, you have to accept it. The problem is the way that they travel is they go into a digital world to then be pooped out into the real world, just on the other side of the universe.
They log into a game, and then their avatars. Yes. The data from their avatars is converted into matter on another planet using digital
magic sand. Yeah.
Technically, sand is actually a very good data storage device.
Okay.
Anything crystalline can be a very good data storage device, so you can fake that. But you're going to have to accept the fact this is all being told to you by a space dragon who controls the weather
on his magic floating island.
Yes, on his magic island. And it's all like, I like how they've just completely given up and just like, people of the Gunpla. It's now like this really serious thing. I'm just like, in the last season, this was a tournament.
Yep.
But like,
Yep.
I'm gonna say something you're gonna hate at the end of this. So
I know.
I'm just gonna leave it. But the other thing that I watch, I've now watched them both. I've seen Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try. I'll try an episode or two of Divers, but I hear it's very bad.
Generally, it's just from me.
From you and from the world.
Okay.
So, I would say Build Fighters are largely about the same quality both seasons. I'm not super in love with either of them, but I did enjoy them both for what they were. I think they both succeed and fail in different ways, but it evens out. Like, I don't really like the first 10 episodes of Build Fighters, and I'm not crazy about the last 10 episodes of Try.
What don't you like about the first 10 episodes of the first series, by chance?
I don't like the pacing.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about the character setup. Like, China, I think, gets the best setup.
Yeah,
well, no, I would say my favorite episode early on was episode 9, which is China gets Bear Guy-san.
Oh, that's a good episode.
There's and also it's all a bit bland.
Yeah, it's a very standard like kids adventure show.
They don't lean into the Gundam thing. They don't lean into the Gunpla thing. It's all because like even what they've done is take a lot of the tropes from these take it seriously game animes like Duel Masters and everything else, and not even gone particularly far with them. Like the Gunpla Mafia sounds hilarious, and they're actually a very safe interpretation of a very, very common idea in this type of anime.
Yeah.
And the pacing wasn't great, and I was just like kind of bored. And the thing that made it stand out, which is the thing that makes these whole things stand out from these kind of animes, is the fights, because unlike every other thing, they're actual fights. But one of the problems for me early on is that you kind of forgot they were toys, and I really wanted them to go whole ham on this, like because basically what they do, they do it for the whole show. They cut to cockpits and they cut to the Gundams fighting, and Try does something I think was good, which is early on there's a scene where someone is having Gundam fighting and a real person leans in and it's like a kaiju, which it's his sister. I thought that's the kind of stuff I wanted from the start. Now, like China's episode is my favorite of the first 10 or so, because not just because it's fun, but because she does exactly what I think the show should have been doing. Oh, I filled it with cotton because I made up a story in my head that Bear Guy-san is a bear that got turned into a robot.
Yeah.
Like, that's her backstory for it, and that plays into the Gundam fight. Like, the cotton is part of the fight. That kind of crazy I wanted for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then, like, the second half, they then start bringing in that kind of thing. Like, the Finichi fight. Where it's like, the guy's being really wholehearted and real about the fact that his toy, I made you for fighting. I don't want to lose you, partner, but we're gonna fight. And then it's like the Finichi reacts to it, and you have the really well done shot of the second eye lighting up, which makes me so annoyed that they made the Finichi's design boring.
You know why I think they did that? I think they put in that reference to it being alive because it was a Gundam Wing thing, which was always kind of a thing. I don't think there was any other reason why they did it apart from that reference, which I like. But
it was such a fun scene, and I really like him as a character. He's a 20-something-year-old man who tries to get into women's pants by giving them Gunpla, and apparently it works.
That's the world that they live in, Mikey. It just works. It just works.
It's because he's Italian, but then they make the Fenice boring in design.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which really annoys me. I love the asymmetry of the thing. I'm getting that kit as well, definitely.
It's a decent kit because it's based off the updated version of the Wing, but it's just better because it's different.
Like the Stray fight where, oh my god, my superpower won't work. Why? Because the arm is covered in glue.
Yeah,
there's nowhere near enough moments like that. But those moments when they are there are very good. And I love the fight scenes in the tournament. I think they're really well handled. And I like the final fight scene. and I saw the OVA as well, and I did like I thought that was well handled, and having a Reiji Sei fight was good. I mean, I think the way they handled Reiji being an alien was bad. Because they didn't handle it, they just kind of ignored it. They introduced it and ignored it for 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And then said, shit, he's an alien, and now he's disappearing because the particles aren't on Earth anymore, but then they make the particles again.
Doesn't make any sense. That's
and
why
now
I like
he can
it.
come back anytime he wants, but doesn't. Possibly because he never liked Sei in the first place.
That's in the OVA stuff, isn't it? That bit.
No. Like because like they're at the end of the series, they're making the particles again. Like the Gunpla battles are back on.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like,
that's right.
Why don't you just teleport down? You could do this the whole
He's
time.
a prince. He's got prince stuff to do.
No, he doesn't. He spent a year playing with toys.
Ah, that's fine.
Like, then again, Alia's up there now. She's great, by the way. She is a wonderful character.
Yeah.
Like, she is the kind of thing that, like, again, oh my god, they're taking this toy game so seriously, they've emotionally scarred this young lady, so because she's technically a new type.
Yep.
She
fulfills the stereotype that you see a lot again in the Gundam show. She's a.
Yeah.
You see that if you watch any of the UC stuff, you'll be like, it's that trope. Okay. Which is neat.
So I would say Build Fighters is above average for the genre, but nothing special.
No, I would agree it's nothing special.
Tried then does kind of all the same things, but the other way around. Like, Try's first 10 episodes dig a lot harder into the fact that they are playing with toys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot more talk about customization. There's a lot more talk about the nature of the toys. There's stuff like his sister leaning into the battlefield. There's the one that stood out to me was the boxer, who he's using his brother's homemade kit, and his brother's just a little kid. He's just stuck the kit together. But he's so good. He's just such a natural talent that even without the upgrades and the paint jobs and everything else, he's able to keep up with everyone. That kind of stuff I really enjoyed. Also, Gyanko was in a lot of the first 10 episodes, and Gyanko is God.
Mm-hmm.
She's fantastic. She is the best character in that show, and she got completely abandoned in the second half.
Yep.
As did a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Also the bear episode, and that was also a very good one, right? Very fun one, where his sister is like, I don't want to date this guy, and Mama Bear protects a baby bear, and then baby bear gets revenge by punching a guy in the nuts. And the Gundam he punched in the nuts is also one well known for having an actual cockpit.
That's right.
Yeah. It was also weird seeing a black Turn-A, given how many pictures I've seen of the Turn-A lately. Looks better in black in some ways.
Yeah. A lot of the Build Fighter redesigns are pretty fancy for the most part.
The second half of it, once they get into because they have 2 tournament arcs.
Yes.
And their second tournament arc is a lot less interesting.
Yeah.
Because they get more normal. It becomes and they don't take advantage of a lot of the story elements they lay down.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the Denial Gundam should have been the final bad guy.
Yep.
Narratively, it makes sense. Story-wise, makes sense. The design of the thing is a fucking final villain. And it's not. In fact, it's not really very important. The Tryon 3 is enormously good fun. But the guy piloting it, I think his character is forgettable.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And also, it's kind of hilarious to me, so I talked about what I liked how they handled the super robot aspect of that. One thing no one told me going into the show is that it's already a super robot show. Because this just in, someone on the creative team is in love with G Gundam. And the Burning Gundam in every form is a fucking super robot. Every single form. But the way the writing's laid out, the structure, the references, everything, someone on there loves G Gundam and wanted to stick it in as much as possible. To the point where Domon Cashew shows up at the end. Because Sekai, who fights with martial arts and wears a uniform with a big glowing hand in it, was trained by that universe's equivalent of Domon Cashew. And beats he wins his final fight using the Shining Finger. And yes, there is something in Gundam called Shining Finger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's glorious. And I am so annoyed they never did anything with that.
Yep, that's why I hate Try.
They had an OVA where they could have done it, because like the Burning Gundam, everything else, it's based like so many like the Burning Gundam is very much intended to be the equivalent of the God Gundam. Even the last form, it does a power up with the ring around it at the back, and it's like we all know this. So why wasn't there a thing? Like, I mean, I today just like I just came up with this on a complete fly. You end the series with the bad student going back to his teacher Domankashu. Domankashu revealing like, oh, I used to train with Gunpla as well because heart of battle can only be found between warriors and blah 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 blah. And then he has a fight using a Gunpla of the God Gundam versus the two of them. That's your plot. He wins, like they impress him with their teamwork, and they impress him by saying, you've both learned well, and then the God Gundam wins. And then he reveals that he trained with the old man from Series 1, Mao's trainer, from the guy who was desperate for Gundam girls with big breasts.
You mean Rambaral?
No, not him. Not the lieutenant. The old sensei type guy. Because he uses the Master Gundam.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So obviously, like, oh, I trained with him, and then cut just so like here's a still of a fight between the two Gunpla.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so obvious, and if you tell me there wasn't someone on that team who was sitting there going like, we could do it, and they were probably dragged out screaming from the brainstorming session. It's like, but we've already set it up. So yeah, that's annoying, and it happened in the last half, which is they basically average out to an average show, the two of them.
I would much rather watch the first series though, because I'd rather have a slow start to a good end than the opposite way around.
I don't know. I will
really?
not.
You'd rather have like a bad end?
I never want a bad end, but I would say because I enjoyed the big free for all fight at the end of it. Thought that was fun. But that's the thing. I will watch clips from these two shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll watch like Meijin Kawaguchi. I'll watch him for days. More in the second series than the first, I will say. But I will never sit down to the two shows again.
That's fine.
And I think Re-Rise is objectively much better than either.
Yeah.
I think it's better written. I think it's got better characters. I think it's got better world building. I think it's got actual stakes. I am just far more invested in that show. I think it's just handled all around better. Yeah, like it's a show I like a lot better than either of them, and I could see myself rewatching Re-Rise. I could never see myself rewatching the two fighters.
Mm.
So, yeah, that was my week.
All right.
What about you?
I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been when I've been able to, so I've been chunking along through that game. I've been enjoying it. Again, bits and pieces crop up, which I'm like, this is a bit of a shame, but for the most part, it's been a fairly good experience. For context, I'm up to the Shinra building, which is kind of the last plop of the game, I suppose you could say.
Say last quarter.
Yeah, see, they keep saying, if you go to the Shinra building, it's the end. I'm like, I know. I played the first game. You told me that a lot then as well. Yeah, definitely interesting. Won't say much because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. Or haven't played it, I should say. But it's, I'm waiting for the thing to happen which makes people angry. So, I watched Re-Rise. It was like said with Mikey earlier, it was a very talky episode where I was like, I'm still not as into it as you are, clearly, but that's fine. I watched Swamp Thing this week.
Oh God, I haven't seen that in ages.
What, the Amazon show live action?
I watched that about 3 years ago. 4 years.
Did you? I didn't think it was that old. I thought it was fairly new.
It's been out. It's been a few years since it's been out.
Is it? Yeah. I watched that and I was like, well, this is better than most of the live-action DC shows. Still not good, though. I'm amused that they tout it as being a horror, and it has gory elements to it, so I guess it's a horror, but it's got none of the tension of a horror. So it kind of misses the most essential point of making you feel uneasy. It doesn't have any of that. I would describe it as, if this was done as a cartoon, this would be 3 episodes, and at least 2 or 3 of the villains would have turned into monster people, instead of just hinting that they'll turn into monster people, which they do. Yeah. Wait, which part of the end did you hate?
Specifically when you're talking about monster people, are just like, oh my god, he's a plant man. No, he's eating me. No.
Oh, right. I think I know what he's talking about.
Also, I'm not sure how I feel about the big reveal.
Which I don't know what the big reveal is.
The big reveal about what Swamp Thing is.
Was that a reveal?
Well, like, yes, because they were setting him up as one character. I don't know. I don't want to dive too deep in case someone wants to show. They were setting him up as one thing, and then suddenly, like, oh my god, I'm not the thing.
I didn't think that was a big reveal myself. I just looked at that and went, yeah.
Oh, it's the big reveal of the character.
Okay, yeah, I suppose you're right.
Yeah.
I think because I was so underwhelmed by the reveal, maybe that's why I didn't really consider it a big reveal. I just looked at it and went, oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Not a huge shock when the first scene was him like tearing his head in half or something, and you're like, oh, I guess he forgot about that, right?
Well, I mean, there's a difference between tearing your head in half and redefining your sense of self.
I don't know. That was silly. Yeah, a lot of the show isn't about Swamp Thing, which I'm not that surprised by. Because in these kind of shows, they need to save budget, and by that, it's like focus on the human characters. I really thought the entire Blue Demon, Blue Devil?
That was random.
I was pointless. There was no point in that. If you took that out of the story, you lose nothing. It feels like a really terrible setup to another series that they were never going to do.
Oh yeah, that's all it was. That was like, hey, spin-off.
And it clearly felt like that, but it... Like, I could have told them, I would have been on set saying, they're not going to get Blue Devil. It's not going to happen. No one, like, even comic book fans who generally know comics, like me, I generally know comics, but I'd never heard of fucking Blue Devil. I'd maybe seen him, like, as a background character on Justice League Unlimited, but that would have been about it.
Hmm.
Who gives a fuck about Blue Devil? A few people, not many, though. So I did that, and that, it was just my usual working during the week, so that was about it. It's not desperately exciting, but that's how it be. I was going to do like nighttime walks, but it started raining a few nights, and I was like, well, I could just play more Final Fantasy, and I went, I'll just do that then. I'll just do that. I've been watching a few, I can't remember what they're called, but I've been watching a few like not very good thrillers, like late 90s, early 2000 thrillers. Where there's always a courtroom drama case.
Oh, yeah.
And they're never, I would never say they're good, but I wouldn't say they're, like, awful. There's something kind of slightly entertaining about watching them. And I don't know whether it's the way that they did movies back in that era that I kind of like. But it's been kind of fun watching those. But that's really been about it. There's not been a lot going on. I haven't really got anything in the post because, yeah, all the places I would buy the stuff I want from aren't working, so... There you go. I was meant to get out the comic show this week for the freebies, but I'll be doing that probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. So just hang on a smidge, a few more days, and you'll have that freebie, peoples. Mm-hmm. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet as we need to wrap this show up now?
We can find me, you, where, what, who, you love me. What? That won't get away from me. You can contact me on Irish Pillow on Twitter, even if you want to contact us about the show. We take emails from the moonbase2@gmail.com. Remember, guys, we are still looking for a couple of suggestions about what Transformer-related things we could do shows on, just in case we have no news. You can send us feedback with the email. You can send us feedback on Facebook, Twitter, Libsyn, CC Bunker, everything else. Just so you know, the interview I recorded with May Cat will be out in the next few days, I believe. It's all done and dusted. So that I had a lot of fun with that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of giggling. I cut out some giggling. There's a lot of giggling.
Okay. Not laughing, but giggling.
Yeah, I did cut out a moment where the two of us couldn't breathe for like 2 minutes, but
okay.
She's terrible in a wonderful way. So that's going to make Kat worked on Cyberverse season 3 and season 2 as well. So she's worth chatting to. And yeah, Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, YouTube as Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, and Libsyn, and YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the extended versions of From the Files of Teletran 2, and you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo. And you can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com, as Mikey said earlier. So, Mr. Mikey, with that being said and done, thank you everybody for listening to the show this week, and we will catch you for another episode next week, where there may be more or less, or exactly the same amount of news. I would assume less.
Remember the shining finger.
You are now leaving